Platchums!
We're going to go through, our amazing year of 2022 where we're extremely consistent with our game, with our upload schedule.
Let's see. Yo, in this video, I'm gonna get like a tough platinum, and it was so tough that my nipples bled. Nah. We're just gonna sit down and have a chat. Actually, we'll leave that to the young ones.
Yeah. Oh, I cringe. I cringe when I hear people say things like that.
Sorry, Dan. God.
No, just the pain.
Yeah, the
cringing pain.
It brings back too many memories of like vanquishing Max Payne when my spleen exploded when I went for the Max Payne 3 platinum. But so how's it going, Dan? It's been a while. Happy New Year.
Long time no see. Yeah, Happy New Year.
Are we already too late for that? I think even for the Happy New Year shenanigans.
Yeah, we're consistently inconsistent.
Oh, it's a beautiful thing. And just to update people in case you're alarmed, we aren't turning into a Spider-Man podcast series. We're not going for. I don't know what's happening. I have one prop that is Spider-Man related. I have one hoodie.
I'll have to break out my memorabilia. No.
Yeah, we're definitely the weakest in terms of backdrops here, but whatever about it. So did you play any games last year?
Yeah, last year was a good year for games. It was a weird year, I think. When I look back on it, and it nearly seems like the games that I played at the start of last year were way longer ago than a year.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
This year, I have to obviously put out, the elephant in the room. I set myself a goal of 100.
I was going to bring it up. I didn't want to bring it up.
Yeah.
I was going to go. Oh, you had a lofty ambition for the past year, but I'll let you finish.
My eyes were too ambitious. And I unfortunately fell short. I hit 80 platinums last year, so I was 20 short of my
damn
100.
Only 80 platinums. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Well, I really bigged up that I was going for 100. I think I mentioned it 100 times.
Yeah, didn't you have 60 by June or something though?
Yeah, I had a lot of steam at the start of the year, the first half. I think I was up to 74 or something by the end of August. And then I just went cold turkey. I completely stopped playing. We might hover up a graph.
What happened, Dan? This is a safe space.
Well, I don't like the burnout thing, because I don't feel like I was ever burned out from playing games, but I didn't really have anything that I wanted to play.
You just finished all the games.
Well, I finished all the games that I had, definitely, at least all of the ones that were there and available to me and that I wanted to finish. But in terms of of course I could have gotten more games, I could have picked more up. I think maybe I'm just avoiding saying that I was burnt out, but I internally was burnt out. I don't know.
You're sending mixed messages here.
It wasn't that I didn't want to trophy hunt. I just didn't want to play the PlayStation. I didn't even turn it on. Now we touched on that before, because I got into Pokemon cards, and that was kind of I need something to be addicted to.
That was your kind of monk retreat, when you go and find yourself, was to go back to the basics. The first love that was Pokemon cards. Yeah,
so I kind of exhausted that. I became quickly an expert again in Pokemon cards. But that's a financially unsustainable pastime.
Oh God, yeah. The market's fucked at the moment.
Yeah, it's pretty high. It's pretty peak. I would say it's close to peak anyway. But there was nothing it was quite a quiet period in terms of releases anyway. There wasn't a huge amount of things. The only thing that popped up that I really wanted to play, but I didn't get around to buying, was Tunic. And I've since played that. It was kind of it was actually my last platinum of 2022. So I was delighted to get that in right before the the New Year's bell rang.
You're trying to beat the counter, the countdown clock.
Beat the countdown, yeah. But like I started off, I just tore through so many games. I had great fun doing it. That the challenge that we were in at the start of the year, that was a huge kind of drive for me.
Was that only like last year? That's weird.
Yeah,
that feels
so
like
that was
ages ago, man.
February to like April or the end of April, I think. So that was like, obviously a huge drive to me getting so many plats, and then I decided I was going to go to 100. But yeah, it just didn't happen. I don't think I'm going to set myself such an ambitious goal again either, because that, like, when you break it down, it's practically 2 plats a week. It's pretty like, and you can get 4 plats in a week if you with the right games sometimes, but it's
you didn't stoop to that level though, Dan. You weren't shooting up the bad plats in an alleyway somewhere.
No, that was obviously, that's obviously my
forte,
my ethos.
like,
I'm not gonna touch any crap, but a good year for games. I'm going to do a video on all the platinums I got, and I'm going to tier them. So I'm going to put them into a tier list. Super original. Purely because I don't want to copy the missing collectible guys too much, because their videos are really good.
We're full of creativity here at the Platchums.
I'll try to make it a little bit different.
Yes.
But yeah, I'll go through all the platinums I got in that video. But yeah, what about yourself?
Kind of like a funny year as well. I mean, oddly enough, when I was like, oh God, this must be the worst year ever in terms of platinums, but it was actually like I got the second best year of my trophy hunting career, or it's like tied. Like, I think there's like 3 years that I got 15. I actually got 15 plats this year. Wow. Which kind of surprised me. In fairness, so like you played a lot more games than I did, so as you said, you'll go through the tier list, for your games. But I kind of was finishing up on the Vita at the turn of the year, and just kind of my PS5 was just sitting there. Like, I played Astro's Playroom like kind of last Christmas, and then it was like Bastion and Assault and Sanctuary. And I was kind of playing Persona 5. I finally played Persona 5, but that took up, like, I can see your platinum in 2 months, and then finished off Killzone Mercenaries, and then Elden Ring came about, and for a month straight, that was all I really played. And then kind of A Plague Tale: Innocence, Persona 4, Guardians of the Galaxy, which is a game I really think you should try, man. It's combat's a bit, but like, it's all about the story and the performances of the characters. I thought it was surprisingly good. And then we all know the crack. The game that broke me was The Evil Within. I still haven't gone back to it, and I'm still like, I don't intend on going back to it, man. I'm going to leave that as a D. It's not online, so maybe I'll have a change of heart, but like, for the foreseeable future, I'm not going to go back to it. There is just something in that game, unless I'm just going to have to forego the annoying trophies and just finish a playthrough of it. Because on paper, it's the type of game that I should love, and I guess I can kind of see that I would enjoy it, but the trophy list, it just suffocated me, man. I'm like, oh my God, I can't play this like 3 or 4 times. So it's done. And then I kind of took a break as well. And it wasn't even like, I think, it was kind of the burnout, but not the burnout, that way, same as yourself, where I think I just played too many big, long games. And then I think just The Evil Within, I was like, I just don't care. And then I ended up not really playing anything. But again, I didn't really have too much to play. I'd kind of torn through Elden Ring and stuff. So I think I was just really busy as well with other things. So kind of came back into it, around October. And I got like the Resi Village Plat, and I'm a genius. I'm such a genius, because remember I was saying with Resi Village, I'm like, oh look, the mercenaries mode, because it is annoying. I just don't like the mercenaries mode, and I didn't bother my arse getting the platinum for like a few months. I'm like, I bet there'll be a DLC where they'll just make it a lot easier, and that's essentially what happens. So
that worked out well. Yeah,
so I was able to use, the stronger characters and stuff. So I bought, the DLC for it because it is a great game.
Yeah.
Then I finished off South Park, and then God of War came around, which, it was excellent. It kind of got stronger as it went along. And then I actually managed to platinum UFC 4, which I'm oddly proud about because it's the first real annoying, like online focused competitive sports game. That's kind of for me up there with like Fight Night Round 4, obviously not as ridiculous or as rare as that, but it was kind of the same thing. I thought those days were behind me, but there was a bit of fight in this old dog. I was able to kind of win the blitz battle. So all in all, like a kind of a bizarre mix of games. I think Pyre and Undertale were thrown in there as well. So I've kind of rediscovered my love of trophying or trophy hunting. So I'm kind of just taking it slow, man. Kind of going back into it. Like I'm working on Sekiro, and I'm probably the longest. If there's a category for the longest plat time in Life is Strange True Colors, that would be me. Like the platinum in 5 months, I forget what's happening.
Yeah.
So
well, it's funny because we're like, I suppose we've been pretty slow to upload videos, but I think we're kind of consistent in the fact that we upload videos when we're playing games.
When we have something to talk about, guys,
because we weren't playing anything, so there was no point us, I suppose, continuing to make it, because for me, making the videos talking about games goes so hand in hand with playing them,
and this is us with a focus to actually talk about something. Like this is the best we can do.
This is the best.
It's like we need to stay focused on games, and this is us firing on all cylinders.
All cylinders go. Yeah.
So overall,
I think we stopped kind of at around the same time as well, didn't we?
Yeah.
So I think maybe subconsciously, when you hit that wall,
you woke up in bed going, something's wrong with them.
Yeah. I think maybe we're like, that kind of connection there kind of severed something.
Yeah, you just see a platinum somewhere just shatter somewhere, very dramatic. But overall, like it is weird though when you talk about the year though, because I can't fathom that like I played Persona 5 that recently, and even Elden Ring seems a lot longer ago, and Persona
Elden
4
Ring seems like an age ago at this point.
Like it's bizarre. So for me, I was really split into like the kind of first 6 months of the year, and then like the last 2 months. So maybe that's why it's just kind of all messed up in my head. But so overall though, like I still managed to strike 15 platinums, which I'm on that platinum mosaic thing where it tells you the amount. Like I got 10 2018, which I thought was a good year for me. 7 2019, 2020, 13, 2021 was my best year ever with 19. You spit on those numbers, I'd say, with your 80 platinum still. So overall, even though like it was the first year that I took such a long break, maybe since like 2015, I didn't play really for 4 or 5 months, and I think like around 2012. So it's not like unlike me. It's happened before, and it will happen again. But yeah, I'm really delighted with the games I played and the amount of platinums I got. So for this year coming, what have you any goals? Are you said you're not going to go as high up with like I'm going to get 100 plats this year, but like have you got any other thing in mind? 5 plats?
I think I would love to get. I want to hit at 400 anyway, so that's what, another
36, 35, 36, whatever you're on. How many do you have?
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, 36 left then. Sorry, I was thinking I was 10 behind. So that would be nice just to get up to that amount, but also to, I suppose to set a number like that kind of gives me a little bit more leeway, because then I won't be maybe as hesitant to play some of these longer RPGs. My wife got me Final Fantasy Reunion, or
Mm-hmm.
Reunion.
That's a
Or
chunky
Rebirth.
one. It's a
Can't remember
chunky
what the name
one.
is now.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
the Crisis Core remake. So that's one I'm looking forward to play. And then I still have Dragon Quest 11 that I'm really interested to play. And I know
Oh yeah,
that's kind of
you're always fond
another,
of Dragon Quest, yeah.
it's another 100-hour plat. So maybe kind of go back to my RPG, my JRPG roots,
Your comfort
possibly.
zone.
Yeah. And not have that kind of, I need to, I want to, maybe not need, but want to get X number
Need,
of
you said
plats.
it.
I said my true colors.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd like to get more. I'd like to get my completion rate up to 95. So I'm at like
93.5. Have you
93.5.
here? Damn.
Yeah. So if I could get that to, like, I think that's probably a tall order maybe to get it to 95, because it's kind of hard to find the percentages now. But I think if I'm doing my best to kind of clear up any of the backlog that's left over, I
Yeah,
might be able to
clean up stuff like Days Gone and Gran Turismo 7.
Yeah, Gran Turismo 7's an interesting one, actually, now that you say it, just in terms of what happened this year, because I suppose, say, in any other video that we talk about, I'm probably going to focus more on the plats that I got and not the ones that I didn't get.
And then, talk about the successes, not the failures.
There was very few games this year that I played that I didn't get the plat of, and Gran Turismo 7 was one of them.
Oh, what eluded you?
It was just just ridiculous grinding needed for the money that you need to buy the cars. You need to buy these 3 legendary cars, and you could pay actual money for it, but I think it worked out as something like 150 euros or something to buy them.
I'll give you a fiver.
a lot of people had scripts going to just generate this rate, and then by the time I kind of thought I might do that, they patched that out of the game.
No.
Or patched it severely, hampered it or whatever. And I really enjoyed the game, but I wasn't I was in the middle of that challenge, and I wasn't willing to put in another 100 hours of just racing, because I'd finished kind of the career mode and stuff. So that was one game I haven't, and I'm sure I'll go back to it, but because there isn't anything like difficult like there was in, say, Gran Turismo 5. But and then the other game that I didn't finish that you mentioned was Killzone Mercenaries. I still haven't finished that, because
you got all the online though, didn't you? Before the servers.
Got all the online ones before the server closed. But I still have the campaign trophies to go to clean up.
I'm glad that's behind me. I feel like someone that's done their time. It's like, rather you than me. Like Again,
so
we've talked about it.
Two big ones that I didn't plat. They're the only ones that are kind of popping into my head.
Yeah, for me, Stray is one that I just need to do the speed run, and I need to get the trophy for dying 9 times. And what can I say? I'm too good. I haven't got that yet.
Just too good.
I'm just too good. But I loaded it up, and it was I like the game, but for me it has zero replayability. Zero replayability. So I just didn't really fancy going for a speed run of that game. So I think I'm on chapter 4 or 5 or whatever, and I could sit down and do it in an hour and a half if I'm following a video guide for the most optimal route or whatever, if I want to take the stress away. But I just haven't been annoyed. And The Evil Within, well, everyone knows the story with that. So I'm hoping
Stray's one you'll knock out super quick whenever you get the inspiration.
Whenever I get the right mindset for it. The Evil Within, I don't mind just that one. I don't mind having one offline game that I'll never finish, or that I'm just leaving. But to have kind of Stray, it's I may as well do it, or I might just get the speed run and just leave it. And not get the die 9 times trophy. It's almost when you get every trophy in Dark Souls bar the one for dying for the first time. It's just a statement and a half of your ability. I think it's more impressive than the plat. So we'll see how I get on in the speed run. It might be not even up to my own choice whether I get it or not. And then I'm just hoping to finish off. Sekiro is probably going to be the first big platinum of the year. Because I think after that, I've pretty much all the biggest Soulsborne games on my list, which considering that I only really start playing them around 2020. I'm almost kind of like, I'm like, well done. I got there slowly but surely, even though you're recommending them to me for the best part of a decade. So my goals with it would be, I have 166 plats. I would love to give it like the ambitious, like, well, 200, but that's not going to happen with me. So I would be happy with, like, honestly, like 175. I feel like that's a good little milestone if I can get to it. But if I was pushing the boat, I'd maybe like 180, 185, just that step closer to like the big 200. I think that would be kind of cool. I want to clean up just, Sekiro, Life is Strange, and Yakuza Like a Dragon as well. And I want to play, Plague Tale Requiem. I'm looking forward to Spider-Man 2. I'm looking forward to Resident Evil 4 remake, because Resident Evil 4 is the only game that I didn't put on the list. And it was on, like, I've played that game to death on the GameCube and on the PS2. And the only reason I would have bought it again would have been if it had a platinum.
Yeah.
I know that's sad, but it's like, I've no reason to replay. Like, I love the PS2 version. I've like the Steelbook. And I unlocked absolutely everything. And so it's not as if like I'm missing anything with that. So I'm kind of glad I waited till like it got remade. Well, we'll see. It might be a shit remake, but no,
it looks solid. And the other games have been so good.
Based on 2 and 3, I think they're going to do it justice. So I think
interesting to see if they shorten it. I think they said that it's not shorter though.
Which could you shorten, like maybe the castle? I think some people don't like the castle.
There's a lot of castle in that game.
That is true, actually. Maybe I need to replay it. Castle. It's just the village is so iconic that's just kind of like burnt in, and then the regenerator, like the labs. But so I don't think goal. It's a good goal. Like, I would love, like, the main goal with this account, I don't think I could truly ever walk away until I get 10,000 trophies. Because for me, like, that's the last big, like, I think I was talking to you earlier about it, like 5 digits. I'm not going to get 6 digits in this lifetime. It's taken me 15 years to get 500. I don't think I have that much time unless I suddenly discovered the key to immortality. So I think to hit 10,000 with the kind of the games I played, I think I could be proud of that. And it's just nice to look back on. It's like a massive gaming journal at this point. And I think 10,000 is kind of like, once an account gets to that, that's like, oh, like they play, like they know their way around a game. Those dirty bastards. So I think 10,000 would be pretty good. I don't think I'll get there this year, but if I can at least, because I remember I was like stuck on 7,000. It seemed like it took forever for me to get from 7,000 to 8,000, but I'm already like at 8,573 or something. So I think I'll definitely break the 9K over 9,000 this year. And I would honestly think with the games that are coming out, there's a lot more games that I'm interested in this year than last year. Obviously, your Elden Rings and your God of War and stuff, and I was always going to play them. But I think this year is more my my cup of tea. So you never know. Like, I think I won't hit the 10K, but I do think that I could potentially get to like 9,200, 9,300 based on the games I still own that I haven't played yet, and kind of when I clean up everything and ignore the 60 plus trophies that the Evil Within will not give me. So overall, feeling pretty good. I don't really care about the ultra rares, so I've never had any sort of goal to get them. So for me, if I can get 10 to 15 platinums again, and if I can just get much closer to the 10K mark, and if I can just kind of clean up some of these games that are on my list, that's essentially my goal, and play the shit out of Spider-Man 2. Again, this isn't a Spider-Man focused, like, honestly, it sounds like we're really shilling Spider-Man here. This is a complete accident.
Yeah, don't worry, I'll bring us back to it's a neutral place by saying Miles Morales was, completely meh to me the whole way through. I was like,
take that back.
I felt I felt like very similar to the way I felt about God of War Ragnarok, that it was like, again, a very good
You're
game.
on some mighty fine ice here, Dan. You're on some mighty fine ice.
A very solid, like a very good game, objectively a great game.
Why do you have the tone like you're saying this in front of a mob?
Yeah, but and but I just like those kind of games. It feels like I know exactly what I'm going to get before I go into it, and that doesn't always excite me that much, because I'm like, okay, yeah, I can,
you're like,
I can play
surprise me. You want to be surprised. Okay.
There was like a few nice little bits in God of War that like I wasn't expecting. Little minor things, but Miles Morales was, for all intents and purposes, Spider-Man DLC in my opinion. I thought it wasn't a full game. God of War was
that's fair.
Definitely a full game, but
it was bigger than I thought it would be.
And we spoke about that before. We started recording that. My favorite part of God of War Ragnarok was after I finished the story. I thought there was great bits in the story, but in terms of like the game, the playability, I wanted to get through the story as quickly as I could.
Yeah, I don't know what the stance is on discussing God of War Ragnarok story yet, so I don't think it's open season time.
Yeah, I'm not going to go with any spoilers or anything, definitely. But,
I know I was going to there, but I thought better of it.
Yeah,
we've matured at the Platchums with their time away.
Look, again, let me just reiterate. I think it's a great game. I think it is, and probably a 9 out of 10 game.
I still feel like you're talking to a mob.
Yeah, I kind of, I do feel like
you're just at the stake, going. Just to reiterate, it's not like, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I just think again, I think that it's a 9 out of 10 game, no question. If I never played 2018's version, I'd be blown away, just because I came in kind of expecting exactly what I got. I was like, okay, yeah, that was my feeling. I don't have any criticisms of the game other than try use your axe over here, or
we were discussing that earlier, that it was like you literally you regain control of Kratos, and within 1 second you're getting advice on how to beat the puzzle, and it's like, I haven't even assessed the situation. I haven't even looked around the room yet, and it's like, Kratos, you big dumbass, you big Egypt, you put that's how you solve it. And it's like, give me a minute just to like at least feel like I'm smart enough to solve this before you confirm that I'm a stupid twat. Like, honestly, just shut up, Atreus. Who's the adult in the room?
I also think it's funny. I was just thinking this at my last observation about God of War, but I just think, how funny would it be to have a mod where you just see the game from Mimir's point of view? It's just like the wall at like waist level the whole way there.
Like maybe this is just a childish thought, but I would have loved if there was at least one comment about the fact that he was like directly beside Kratos's ass. Yeah. Like if Kratos just tried to pass, a cheeky fart, and then you're going, "Oh, brother, you filthy bastard, brother."
It's a very good impression.
I've never tried it before,
completely off the cuff,
just off the cuff, just randomly, and then Frey going, "Oh, Kratos."
You have to do Atreus, thanks. No, and again, maybe I'm gonna just stir the pot more. I was like, I wasn't wowed by the Kratos performance either. Best actor.
Was it his 87-minute speech that put you off?
No, like he's excellent at Kratos, absolutely. But like, there were better performances in the game.
The mob is back. The mob
Kratos
is back.
was basically just grunting, and then occasionally emotionally grunting. So maybe that's what the award was for. I don't know.
Okay, I'm going to safely escort Dan out of the building. We'll be right back.
Hire me.
Okay, Dan, you need to lay low for a while. Being bad-mouthing God of War and Christopher Judge's stellar, world-conquering performance as man that goes.
No, I'm going to keep my mouth shut from here on. No, I really do think I think he's great. Like I really do think he's the perfect Kratos, and I'd love to see him as the live action Kratos as well. I think he would be amazing as live action Kratos, and maybe then he can like really showcase his acting. But I think again it was just with people like again maybe the main bad guy in it or Thor or Freya, they were they were really standout performances to me in the story, I thought. And even Atreus I thought was actually very good.
I love Freya and Odin's
Yeah.
characters. I think they were excellent personally. I'm just surprised they didn't give the award to Al Pacino just to try to further cement the Game Awards as an actual award show.
Yeah,
looks like they're
he
looking
seemed
for
very lost there.
He was just like, what am I signing up for? Like, they don't even have any waffles, where the
But he was great sport like that, and he was, I liked how he was like, oh, I don't play games, but I watch my grandkids play. Like that's that makes sense.
Yeah,
no,
that does make sense because he's incredibly old. No, like
but,
it's it was cool
actually,
to happen.
The Game Awards were pretty cool this year. I thought they were better than usual. Because
I enjoyed it this year a lot, actually.
Yeah, like I was surprised with how many big names they had at it. Like they had a lot of big.
Big
names.
Yeah, like the quintessential Kojima appearance, but you've got Al Pacino, Hosier, that the white dude on the From Software team. Like they had a lot of big.
Oh, yeah. The Bill Clinton guy.
Yeah, the Bill Clinton guy.
That was I actually thought that was absolutely hilarious.
Yeah,
when I was watching it. I didn't watch it live, but I watched it like in the morning because it was on at like it started at like 1 a.m. or something for us. But I watched it without seeing any news, so I had absolutely no idea what was
context
going on when that was on, and I thought it was so funny when I like realized that it was a prank. And that he seems to be kind of he seems to be a bit of a TikTok star at this point now.
Yes, he's big on the old talk tick.
Yeah,
so he is. Yeah, no, he's
yeah.
I find it mad that he was able just to waltz up there.
Yeah, I don't think they never obviously thought that was going to possibly happen, or no one had ever like thought there's probably no security there at all.
Yeah.
Like, this is the Game Awards, guys. There's no
they want to be seen as like the Academy Awards of games, but they obviously don't pay the money for decent security.
Yeah. I saw some great memes about it though, like say there was
the invasion. I love the invasion. What the invader? I know. That was great in fairness.
Yeah.
Overall it was very good. So in vein of that, or talking about game of the year, what was your game of the year to wrap up our thoughts, reflections, and predictions for the year ahead?
Okay, well, it's going to come as no surprise to anyone that my game of the year was God of War Ragnarok. No, it wasn't. Definitely not. No, my game of the year was Elden Ring, of course.
So was mine. Like this is the least controversial,
the least surprising. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, let's talk about Elden Ring for a minute, and then let's have our second.
You can never just talk about Elden Ring for a minute, man. There's just too much to dissect there.
Yeah, I think the only thing going against Elden Ring coming up to this award season was that it was released so early in the year.
Yeah.
Because so many people had, like ourselves, forgotten even that it was this year. Yeah, and God of War really had that recency bias that kind of front of everyone's mind. But to me, like God of War it's not even on the same plane of existence as Elden Ring in terms of what Elden Ring did this year, of like just changing kind of how we think about kind of open world games.
I would agree in terms of what it did. Like God of War, like it did a lot of things very well, but it kind of, to bring it back to what you were saying, it wasn't really in a very surprising way. It was just bigger, kind of the environments were a bit more diverse, and like particularly the jungle area, like the optional area was like incredible. Like that was actually super fun to explore.
Vanaheim.
Vanaheim. Oh, look at you dishing out the knowledge.
With my knowledge, yeah. No, I actually think that area in particular, like all that secret area when you follow the pig, I thought that was like the standout definitely, because you've got the crater,
The crater,
that kind of like a cliffy
yeah,
canyon area, and then the jungle,
with
and then you
with
fill the jungle with water
and
stuff, and yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah, that was amazing. But yeah, Elden Ring it was just a lot better. I mean, like I know it's kind of
it's a different game as well. Like it's just completely different experience, you know.
Yeah, different gravy. Like
yeah.
So in saying
Elden
that
Ring was, yeah, go on.
In saying that though, it would probably be my favorite game released last year that I played after Elden Ring.
Oh,
now,
yeah.
In saying that as well, in saying that, I didn't play too many games released last year. So, I mean, it's a very small sample size of like 3 games. So that's not really, an opinion to be taken with much, credibility and fairness. But I did really enjoy it. But I still think that maybe when I play Plague Tale Requiem, I think that's one that I'm really looking forward to playing. That was released last year. I think that'll scratch an itch that God of War Ragnarok maybe didn't, because its world is so unique and it's really just great, full of great performances. I love a Plague Tale. But anyway, have you any more tales for the mob before we go?
No, I think in terms of like what I would say is, if we're not counting Elden Ring, I do find it's tough because I didn't play like yourself. I didn't play too many games that were released this year, even though I played a lot. I really, really enjoyed Sifu. I thought that was really it was really different. I thought that it did exactly what it said on the tin, and you felt like a kung fu action star or whatever, like a martial arts master, which was awesome. The challenge was good. The bosses were really cool. I liked the way that the level designs were cool. I thought the progression was really weird. It was actually one of my biggest complaints of that game. Like sometimes if you like started a new level, it would like wipe all your skills, and it was like, and that even though I knew that was going to happen, it still like caught me out like 5 times. Then Cult of the Lamb I thought was really cool.
Oh yeah, you were really like complimentary of that game.
Yeah, it was a really nice, unique indie game. And humble brag for world's first platinum for that. So for the PS5 version.
I'm proud of you, dude. Seriously, if you went for more world records, like summon and salt, got nothing on you. Honestly.
And what else? Tunic was amazing. Like I kind of knew Tunic was going to be good, and it was better than I thought it was going to be. The puzzles and that are kind of next level.
That's when you were playing like maybe last month, was it?
Yeah, it was. My last Plat of the year. My only criticism of that was that some of the puzzles were so hard. Like there's basically a whole language in the game, and you can decipher it, but like I don't know, it seemed like kind of a tall order to me. I wasn't able to go that in depth to it, but like the puzzles in the game were really good. There were a lot of them were kind of like directional based. You had to kind of follow codes and follow patterns, and then there was some audio ones as well, where you had to listen to clues and things like that, and they were really cool. But the language thing, like there was 1 or 2 trophies that were tied to the language.
Oh, sweet
and like
Jesus.
if you didn't know that, if you didn't decipher the language, you were kind of out of luck. But actually the hints in the PlayStation 5, the ones that are built in,
oh yeah,
they really
answers this.
They utilize it really well, because they gave like 3 hints per puzzle, and they didn't give the whole thing away.
Oh,
so
okay, that's
you could get
cool.
like a little hint, and then you could get a bigger hint.
Notes, God of War
answer.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was really cool. So Tunic was a real standout to me this year. as like any kind of like, old Zelda style game, adventure game, I knew it was going to be good, but it was really, really good.
And what are you looking forward to most next year? Or this
Probably
year?
Probably Resi 4,
Yeah.
I'd say.
Yeah.
I think,
And
in
Spider-Man
terms
2.
of, yeah.
I'm wearing all the
Resi
merch.
4,
I'm
yeah.
wearing all the merch, man. I have to say it. I'm contractually obligated, man. I have to say it. Why am I doing an Al Pacino face?
Yeah. Resi 4 is a game I think that we've kind of gushed about in the past anyway. In terms of like, when they first came out on the GameCube and PlayStation 2.
I think it was like the foundation of our friendship at some point, talking about Resi 4.
And it was like a foundation of like, my interests in games. And like it really did kick off like that whole third person thing, which was pretty much the entirety of the PS3 genre. But
I still argue Splinter Cell had over the shoulder shooting first.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Everyone always forgets about good old Splinter Cell, but not this guy. Not this. I'm wearing a Sam Fisher hoodie under this. I know. I got to give Splinter Cell its dues, man. I got to do it. Resi 4 perfected it. Games.
Yeah, Resi 4 perfected. So I have confidence that they'll do a good job with that, considering that 2 and 3 remakes were so good. And now 3 was obviously very short, so that's maybe something I'm a little bit worried about in 4, that they don't got too much of it. But in terms of like of other things that are coming out,
are you going to play Dead Space?
I think I'll probably pick up Dead Space maybe when it drops in price a bit, just because I don't like everything I've seen of it looks to me like I remember Dead Space. Looking. Like I don't I know it looks amazing and it looks so much better than Dead Space, but to me in my head Dead Space looked amazing and still looks amazing. So the new kind of coat of paint isn't wowing me hugely, but I adore Dead Space too. I think Dead Space is probably the closest game to Resi 4 of any other game, actually.
Yeah, like the Dead Space quality, 1 and 2, in fairness. I think 2 is an amazing sequel. I would hold them up against any games. Like that first Dead Space was a real, like, that came out of nowhere, but that production quality, that atmosphere, the gameplay, the like everything about it was just like, where the hell did this come out of? I'm also looking forward to maybe seeing System Shock, in fairness. I always love System Shock 2. Maybe Star Wars Jedi Survivor, if I don't know, like that could be an excellent B game for me, where it's on sale, kind of treated like the Fallen Order.
I think they have a lot of like potential there to make that a really, really good game, because I think Fallen Order was a really good game.
Solid 7 out of 10, the most 7 out of 10, but it was an enjoyable 7 up. But like there's nothing wrong with a 7 out of 10. You only got, if it was a 10 question quiz, you got 70% of it right. Like, that's not bad.
Yeah, like a 3.5 star.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever system you like.
I think it could be good. Like, I think that the combat needs to be a bit tighter, and they need to get a better map.
Yes, and the backtracking. If you're going to insist on backtracking, at least put mechanics in place where it's easy to backtrack, or it's not such a pain in the ass. That was
way systems everywhere.
Terrible.
Final Fantasy 16 is going to be my jam.
Alan Wake 2, I think, is scheduled for next year as well, isn't it?
Yeah, that could be cool. I played Alan Wake this year, or sorry, 2022. I thought that I'd never played it before. Silk Song for Hollow Knight, that's going to be, it's eagerly anticipated by everyone. I think that's played Hollow Knight because it was such a great game. And then Forspoken's coming out early, I suppose, this year. And I actually think that looks pretty good. I didn't play the demo because I don't like, I don't like kind of going into the demos too much. But the main character in it was in the Resident Evil series on Netflix, and that was kind kind of bad, but kind of cool as well.
I watched one episode out of more of a curiosity, and I'm like, no, I ain't got
I
it.
watched the whole thing, and
God.
it actually got good at like episode 7, which is funny, but
I think I'll leave the Resi series, but The Last of Us will be coming out within a week of recording, so
yes,
we'll see if that's good. But
is that the 13th or something?
15th of January.
15th. Oh,
yeah,
okay, I thought it was the 13th.
Old Joel Pedro Pascal will be.
That's looking like it's going to be amazing. I can't
we'll
see that.
we could be eating these words like a video next week. Well, that was shit.
No, I'm confident. Like, I'm gonna put my money on the table and say that The Last of Us HBO is going to be awesome. I'm very, very confident.
I'm gonna just go because the mob are still looking after your previous comments.
yeah. Last of Us Part 2 is best game of all time.
Oh my god!
Like
and the execution begins. No, so overall, I'd say we both had very good years, considering that we kind of just stopped playing games for a while. You came break. It was a good break. So and I think there's going to be a lot of good gaming to be had in the year ahead. But before we go, I'm gonna leave you with one challenge.
Okay.
Just one. Okay. Well, not really a challenge.
We didn't rehearse this.
Yes, this wasn't in the script, you dick. It's not actually a challenge. I used the wrong word. One recommendation.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to recommend one game that you simply have to play this year, based on what I think you might like or what I think you haven't played yet.
Okay.
And I'm going to recommend Okami.
Okay. Yeah, that's I feel like that's a softball of what a great game to recommend. So,
but you don't have it on your list, and it's so quintessentially Dan. It's a classic game. I think it's aged well, it's not the most annoying trophy list to navigate. So I'm just saying, if there is one game that your list is missing, in my opinion, I think I would say Okami is a glaring omission.
Okay, well, I'm gonna have to set you a challenge too.
No, recommendation, not challenge.
Sorry,
we didn't rehearse this.
And I'm gonna have to say you have to play the Outer Wilds.
Okay,
Outer Wilds. It's the game, like, out of all the games I've played. I don't want to give away my tier list video, but I suppose anyone who's this deep into this video
this deep into the shite video.
But like the Outer Wilds was I would say it's nearly like a profound experience. It's so good. And it was a game that I played like an hour or two of, and then didn't play for like a month, and then I went back into it, and it just hooked me. It's you can't even give away anything that happens in the game. Like, I think you do know a little bit about the game anyway. But it's available on PSN Plus.
Yes, which I have.
It's got probably the best soundtrack of any game of all time. Oof. It's got it's one of the best games of all time. And, you need to play it. You need to play it.
I think that's also a good softball excuse, because it has been on my radar for a while, and anytime I've been looking to play it. And I guess these two games can just automatically make their way to the Platinum Club as well.
I think they're I think now that we're back into playing games, I think we can definitely maybe safely reopen the Platinum Club.
Well, it was ongoing. We're not going to be doing it every month anymore. It's just going to be a longer sort of thing. It just it's not going to run indefinitely, but I'd say we'll kind of let Yakuza go for another couple of weeks, because it kind of, a few people have been lovely and left comments about it, but like, I'm stuck in a really bad place in the game. It's so old school where, like, I don't have enough health items, and I saved and I prepared poorly. I just changed my job, so I'm a lot weaker than I was. And oh my god, it's like, where I'm gonna have to start a new game here. I'm just struggling so much. We'll see with
Sega thing.
It's such a Sega thing. But hope everyone enjoyed this. Let us know what games you're looking forward to playing in the coming year and how many platinums you got in 2022. So once again, we're so late to say this, but Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Yeah. Look forward to what we do with the channel this year. We might have maybe
nothing.
5 videos or something.
It's either going to be like we're going to upload 4 videos or we're going to upload like 80. There's going to be like no in between. It's going to be like everything or nothing. Like
everything or nothing.
Like that's such a ambiguous answer, but that's just the way it goes. So thanks a million for watching, and thank you Spider-Man for sponsoring this video.
Platchums!